Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Emulating Ronaldo. And today we're at the age of 30, so we're getting to that age when we're starting to lose our hair and thinking about retirement possibly in 2 or 3 years' time. In fact, one of our players has actually retired already. Go down the list. Where is he? Conor McGinty, the Chinese player who actually played 96 games for China in the end and played for Villa recently, decided to retire this summer at the age of 30. Strange, quite young, but anyway, there you go. 21 goals in 96 games for China. So a successful career. Didn't really win anything that we know of anyway. Maybe he won something in Saudi Arabia, but a couple of second place positions, I think, with Villa. So we've lost 2 players now, down to 28. Obviously, Fikasaug retired ages ago. But moving on, in terms of appearances last season, Matt Crowe made the most appearances. Goals-wise, it was Guzajewski once again, and assists-wise, it was him as well. And average rating-wise, Pedro Simpson, with the highest average rating. Took a long time to get going, but he's playing very well now for Porto. Moving on to international caps wise, Usain Bolt has 115 caps for Jamaica. Arthur Sleep's been overtaken now. He's one behind Bolt. First time he's been behind. And goals wise, Dean Mainwell, 51 goals in 106 games for South Korea. That's very impressive. And Kim Jong-shamak, 46 in 78 for North Korea. Guzajewski's also doing well. So, unfortunately, none of our players really did emulate Ronaldo. We've reached that age now where we will be declining. Maybe central midfielders will improve, like defensive midfielders may have a really good period in their early 30s, possibly Welshiniyo, but doesn't look like he will. So we'll go through the players. Oh, value-wise, wait a second. Most is Kim Jong-shamak now, 18.25 million. He's really improved. And contract-wise, we have a few players earning over 100k a week now. Matt Crowe, then there's me, Marco Sinio-Taylor, Playmaker of Pun, Supermac, Dragonov, and Jiminy Cricket, all earning 100k or more. Anyway, let's go to this view and then go down the list, like always. So, well, Shinio is at Club Brugge now, has 35 caps for San Marino. Moved from Genk to Club Brugge. He's been in Belgium for a while now and has done okay last season. 7.27 average rating this season, 6.99 in the league, 7.11 overall. Achievements wise, probably can't see, but let's just have a look at the Belgian league. So who's won it recently? Anderlecht. He would have won it with Genk last season. Moving on to Andre Le Giant, who's still at Real Madrid and has 70 caps for Rwanda. And he's still performing reasonably well. Not as many games now as he's entered his late 20s and 30s. So, but he's still getting a few games. And he's still at one of the biggest teams in the world. But they haven't really won anything lately by the looks of it. We'll have a quick look to see if they've done anything in Spain. They hadn't recently. No, Barcelona have dominated, and Real Madrid haven't won it for years now, in fact, all the way down in 5th place this season. Supermax still at Arsenal, but he's dropped down to the under-21s at the moment, playing absolutely, well, no games in the league whatsoever for the last 3 seasons. I just don't understand what's happened to him. I suppose it's quite common for players to peak early nowadays. With the pace of the game as they enter their 30s, there's players that really are struggling. I mean, Michael Owen and Joe Cole are examples, peaking really quite young in their careers, and late 20s they started to decline, and I think it's more common now, so it makes sense. Unfortunately for Supermac, he's surely going to have to move on if he wants first team football. He's not played for 3 years. It's ridiculous. 59 caps and 3 goals for Ireland, but still earning 105k a week despite the fact he's not playing. Kieran Marsden, our Argentinian left back or centre back, played 41 times for Argentina now, and he's at Southampton after moving for 9 million from Zenit. So he's back in England and doing okay with them. Nothing miraculous. Just have a look at the Premiership now. Man City won it the last couple of seasons, Chelsea the previous season to that. Barnsley and Doncaster going down. Interesting that they managed to get up to the Premiership. This is our real star, our centre-back, who has been pretty beastly for years. 2 goals in 78 games for Russia. But another player that's just dropped off over the last couple of seasons, had a very good season 3 seasons ago. Then suddenly they just stopped playing him for no apparent reason. Absolutely no games whatsoever last season, and it's just really bizarre. Some of these players have just completely lost their potential. I've decided the next time I do this, I will just make them beastly. So I will make them 150 current ability at the age of 17, which means they will basically definitely be world class. Because a lot of these players, I've looked on the editor, and they've got to, I mean, this guy's only 132 current ability. He's got potential to reach 179. Obviously, that's randomised, the potential one. But it's just, they've either gone up and then gone back down again, or they just haven't reached that potential for whatever reason. The clubs have ruined them. So I'm going to start them off with a really high current ability, and then they should be beasts. So that's for next series, Emulating Ronaldo series 2. Anyway, Arthur Sleep, still at PSV, obviously has millions of caps for Singapore, but another player has just dropped off. Really strange. They've reached the age of 28, and that's them done for their career. That's 3 players now that have done that, and it's really quite annoying. Ian Moffat's another one. In fact, he's gone on loan to Wigan from Liverpool. 65 caps for Scotland, and they just stopped playing him. It makes no sense why this has happened. And this season he's been on loan at Wigan in the Premiership, and he's played a lot of games, so it's good that he's been on loan, but not particularly good average rating. Still in the Scottish team though. Scored the fastest Scottish goal after 11 seconds. John Camp at PSV. There's so many players at PSV, it's ridiculous. He's still playing. Luckily he hasn't dropped off and is playing plenty of games, and still getting caps for USA. 68 in total now. Achievements wise, won the North American Gold Cup. PSV still can't seem to win the league. In fact, they didn't even finish in the top 3 last season. Ajax are dominating. Playmaker of Puns has moved on to Real Madrid, which is some good news. And in a lot of money, 75 caps now for Mauritius. And he moved for, well, he's made a lot of moves. I mean, he went obviously to Arsenal. Then he moved to Chelsea for big money, 20.5 million. Did quite well there, especially in his first season, before moving to Real Madrid for 14.25 million. So he should be pleased. He's getting not a huge number of games, but he's making big transfers, and perhaps accumulatively has actually made the biggest transfers in total. We haven't had a massive transfer, I don't think. Nothing like 60 million or anything like that. And has won a few competitions. Won the Premiership with Chelsea and the Community Shield. Big girl, you're beautiful. At Tottenham still, 42 caps for England, playing lots of games. No, never had really great average ratings, but defensive midfielders always find it tough to get good average ratings. But at least he's playing games. A lot of the defenders obviously have dropped off, but the midfielders seem to be doing okay. This is Henry Haste at Genoa. 54 games for Ireland now. And his average ratings have been pretty poor, but he's playing games, which is better than a lot of our players are. And has he won anything? I mean, he's been named in the Irish best 11 and that sort of thing. We'll have a quick look at where Genoa have placed. The Juventus have dominated. Parma did win the league at one point. Matthew Bryson also at Tottenham, 75 games for Northern Ireland, playing plenty of games. Not the best average rating in the world, but is solid. Matt Crow's moved to Monaco. 1 goal in 31 games for England now. Finally playing a few more games. Moved for big money from Man United, 19.75 million. Played quite a few games and okay average rating here and there. Did win a few things with Man United. And has finished runners-up with Monaco 3 times. PSG have dominated, but Monaco have won the league a couple of times. Christopherson, Norwegian, 46 caps now, has moved to Valencia for 4.7 million from Olympiacos, and hasn't played a huge number of games, but okay average rating. Probably hasn't won anything. We'll have a quick look. No. Oh wait, entire career. There we go. Usain Bolt, obviously loads and loads of caps for West Brom. Pace has gone down slightly. Playing at loads and loads of caps at Jamaica, sorry. He's still at West Brom after moving for 9.25 million, and seems to be quite consistent at getting 6.7s for average rating wise. Probably hasn't won anything apart from obviously the Caribbean Championship. This is me, 77 caps for England now, 11 goals. Can I reach 100 caps? Probably not. Still playing well for Chelsea. Few goals, few assists. Always getting over 7 average ratings. I've done reasonably well in my career. Won a couple of Premier League titles. And yeah, there we go. Premiership in 2024. Few various awards there. Germany cricket still at Man United. 3 goals in 34 games for Bulgaria. It's strange how he hasn't really, I don't know, you'd have thought it'd be like the star of Bulgaria and getting like 100 caps, but hasn't done so. And has done alright for Man United. Always getting over 6.9 average rating that's what you want really. Achievements wise, they won the Champions League in 2024, and he's won the Club World Championship as well. Parma, there's been a couple of strange winners, hasn't there, in the Champions League. Juventus obviously dominated for a while, then Man United, Parma and PSG. In fact, Juventus just beat Liverpool in the final, if we go back. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing there. Was that the semi-final? Yeah, that was the semi-final. PSG beat Juventus. Juventus have reached so many finals. Parma beat Man City, Juventus win that final too. It's ridiculous. Genoa win that final. Some really strange teams from Italy doing really well. Arsenal beat Hull in the Euro Cup. And they won the previous one to that. And the previous one to that. What the hell? 3 in a row. Hull won the... What is going on with this game? Arsenal have won so many, it's bloody ridiculous. Well done, Arsenal. Look at that. That's absolutely insane. Luca van der Bale, 64 caps for Wales now, and he's still at Norwich, been there forever. He's in the Championship now, though, after they've been up and down and not done brilliantly. Probably hasn't won anything. Here's our real star, Polish, still playing for Bayern Munich and still doing very well. 21 goals that season in all competitions, 28 previous season and 17 this season. He's done very well and probably overall has been the best player. Won the German Cup, German Super Cup. Haven't won the first division since 2020 though, which is a bit disappointing. I don't know who's been winning it lately. Let's just have a look. I'm clicking on the wrong things here. Here we go. Werder Bremen. It's been a real mix. Hoffenheim have won it twice. Gladbach, Werder Bremen. The Bayern Munich Dortmund dominance is over. Pedro Siemsen obviously took a long time to get going, but he's done well for Porto recently. Very good average ratings. Very, very good. Best we've seen so far. After really struggling to find clubs at the start and playing for some average teams, he's really pushed on with Porto and they've finally won the league. He's finally got a title, beating Benfica. Our friend Andreas from Greece, he's at Mallorca. 8 goals in 61 games for Greece. He's done average, pretty average for Mallorca, but he's got a few goals. Marco Taylor's at Man City, 12 goals in 84 games for Faroe Islands. Wow, he's had a big move, 8.75 million from Porto. So he just missed out on the title. But did Man City win the league this season? Possibly. Yeah, they did. So he moved from one title-winning team to another. And yeah, wow, done okay, hasn't he? Good average rating. Dean Mainwell still at Man United. Obviously, brilliant play for South Korea. Unfortunately, dropped off for his club though. He's only played one game in the league last season. Achievements-wise, he's won various things. He's won the East Asian Cup with South Korea. Obviously, won the Champions League. Joseph Davies is at Real Madrid. Was he there before? Can't remember. No, yeah, he was. Of course, there was some sort of transfer going on there. But obviously, Real Madrid haven't really dominated. So, it's not like he's winning titles there. But he's getting goals and doing quite well. He won the European Super Cup with Monaco. Marcus Poulsen still at Liverpool. 53 caps for Denmark now, but hasn't played. Another player that's dropped off and hasn't really done anything, which is a shame. Matt Trevelyan still at Man City. I feel sorry for him. He could have been a real star in this game if Man City had just let him go. He's played a reasonable number of games each season recently, but not enough to get goals, and yeah, generally disappointing, and it's just unfortunate. But he's won the Premier League. So, and he's won the Champions League in his time last season as well. So he's won. I mean, he's won the Premiership a couple of times in a row. So he's had a successful time in terms of trophies. Kim John Shamak's really pushed on. Pleased for him after really struggling to get going and doing very well in the Jupiler League and for PSV, and he's moved to Arsenal for a decent amount of money. Not scored a huge number of goals, but look at that, 14 goals in 16 games for North Korea that season. 11 goals a couple seasons ago in all competitions, and this season 9. So he's been okay, been better than the real Shamak, and of course has won the Euro Cup, because Arsenal have won the Euro Cup multiple times. And lastly, Zakajus, who had done so well for Chelsea, has dropped off a bit and has gone on loan to Aston Villa. He's been on loan at Stuttgart and Aston Villa and hasn't really done much, which is a bit unfortunate. He's won the... Has he won anything? He's won the FA Cup in his time. Someone asked me just to look down the divisions, see where teams are, so that's what we'll do. Oh, we can't see. You can see he's won everything there, so there you go. League One. West Ham were relegated to League One. And Sunderland. There's League 2 for you. Just go down to the Skrill, see what's going on down there, and then look at the FA Cup. So these are the recent winners, big teams, as you would expect, really. And the Capital One Cup's been dominated by Man United. They've won 5 out of the last 6. Hull have done very well, haven't they? So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. The next episode will be about 33, and then probably after that I'll just go to the end of retirement. So there's a couple more episodes in it, and then I plan on starting another one, really. Seeing how it goes, probably mid-July starting that one. But there's still a couple more episodes of this to look forward to. We haven't really done particularly well. It's been a bit unfortunate, really, but there's still a possibility of us winning competitions in the next 3 years, so we'll see how they all do. But until next time, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, etc. And I'll see you in the next episode.